Howdy, everybody, and welcome to another exciting chapter of Dreams of Infinity. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and magic keeper, and joining me around my virtual table tonight are Ashleyien, Hana, Kira, Los, and Steven. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
They're so good at following directions, I love it. Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, Hero Forge. Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D, in-depth character creator right in your web browser, which is where we build the tokens for this game. You can build yours today at heroforge.com. Our second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. You can use this program to protect your privacy while you work or play remotely. It can blur, remove the background entirely, or even put your favorite picture as the background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in chat and show descriptions. And that's it for the announcements. They're short this time. It's great. So join us as we return to Leropa City and continue on with the Magi-Knights as they investigate the Dreams of Infinity. And we're back. So for this campaign, we do our recaps a little different. Whoever does the recap at the start of the session will receive the random Rhapsody coin, which they can redeem for one free reroll during the session. Now, if I'm the one who does the recap, I get the coin. And I'm going to redeem it at the worst possible moment for our heroes, so you know they don't want me to have it. So, with that in mind, Magi-Knights, who would like to tell us what happened last time on Dreams of Infinity?
I'll take a stab at it.
Okay, go for it. What happened last time we were together?
All right, little quick get into character moment. Man, this has been the weirdest weekend. Stuff has happened. I'm still not even sure any of it's real. I think I'm going back to school. I cannot believe this is my senior year in high school and the craziest stuff happened. I almost died, and then I didn't. And then we got these powers, and then we fought a whole bunch of people, I think, except, none of them died. And then we had a big, long conversation where I got some questions answered, but I was left with more questions. And then had an amazing night of sleep, which was surprising considering I'm apparently a superhero now. So then I'm just supposed to go back to school like nothing happened. And so go back to school. There's an assembly, first day of school. The vice principal gets up, mentions that the dean, was he a dean? He's a dean, right?
Yeah, he's a dean.
Uh, yeah, the dean was in a car accident, which I was in, but none of us are mentioned. Apparently, the dean was the only one on this trip, and so it's like that never happened, at least as far as everyone else is concerned. I talked to the vice principal about this afterwards, and she made it very clear that we weren't there. So had another conversation with the cat, asked them a bunch more questions. Again, left with more questions than I had going into that conversation. But things are starting to make sense, and it seems kind of cool. So back to school. We had a nice lunch. I got to break up a fight, or a rabble rousing between our rival school, La Ropa, and us, and got to make sure that the team didn't actually get any detentions before our first game, which is a big deal. And then a few of us were tried listening to some gossip, didn't get much. And Kat made a strong effort trying to get to know this kid named Ronan, but that didn't go very well. And so yeah, we're picking up. We all did our classes. Some of us did great. Some of us did not so great. And it's after school, and I'm excited to see what we all get up to now.
Love it. Well done, Damian. There you go. You got the random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget to use it. It only lasts for today.
Noted.
But with that in mind, Magi-Knights. The day's classes have ended, and you all are making your way out of your last class of the day towards your lockers to, put your things up, grab your backpacks, whatever. The halls are crowded with your fellow students, and the sounds of chatter fill the air as everyone is making their preparations to depart. Now, as this is the end of the school day, we would be moving then to the next phase of the day, which is namely your free time phase. But if there's anything you want to do on your school grounds beforehand, this is the time to do so. Students are going back and forth. You're seeing like people talking with one another, making plans of their own. Um, let's see. I see someone in chat right now saying my voice is lower than the rest of the group. Okay, that's good to know. I can go ahead and raise that up a bit. So hopefully that's a little bit better for y'all. Anyway, but so yeah, you're in the halls right now. Chatter's going on. You see a few teachers walking by as well. But overall, the school day and the rest of the day is yours. So, Magi-Knights, is there anything you want to do before you leave the academy for the day?
Kat just wants to make sure she gets a newspaper if she didn't get it on lunch.
Oh yeah, you did get a newspaper, so you can read that
Flip
really
through it.
any time.
Try to flip through it.
Yeah, kind of flip through it a little bit. Okay. Let me find that real quick. So there are a few interesting things of note in the newspaper. You're kind of, as your friends are gathering up their books and that sort of thing, you just kind of lean up against your locker, open it up, and kind of scan through it. Most of it is your general information stuff. What clubs are when, the club schedules, the sports schedules. There's um, a little article about Coach Appleman and how he's encouraging everyone to stick to fruits and vegetables and stay away from fast food because obesity in the city is at an all-time high, and he wants to make sure his students are living their best life on those fruits and veggies. There are a couple other interesting things of note. One of the things of note is that there's a name added to the roster of students who contribute. At the very bottom, you see junior editor James Ronan. And the name sticks out to you because that kid outside in the grass that was sitting behind the tree, he said his last name was Ronan. Now you actually have a name to go along with that. Other than that, the other interesting thing is, what's that kid's name? It dropped out on here. Damn it. Mark Polster. Mark Polster is still the senior editor of the Coltrast newsletter. He was the one last year. Little recap for those of you who haven't actually watched our first airing of Magi-Knights, but Mark Polster was the guy that laid David out, pretty much beat his ass while chasing after Lacey.
I believe he also got beat.
He got nut kicked a couple times
by me.
But only in one, right?
Yeah. So there is that too. But Mark Polster is still the senior editor of the newspaper, the new edition, James Ronan. Yeah, Polster. That is right, I believe.
Thank you.
As you're doing that, Ashley, like, Katrina, you kind of put the newspaper down and you're thinking to yourself about that kid that you saw. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Quick question: did Kat tell us about James?
If I had a chance, I would have.
So probably. Or if not,
Okay.
you can do so right now while you're all at your lockers.
I'll just tell them about the strange. He was totally ignoring that fight that was going on, and that he had this weird book with no title. I think it was a weird leather-bound book with no title, and it was very friendly. And he's apparently the junior editor now. Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about joining the newspaper?
So I won't make you describe him, but Melody says, please tell me exactly what he looks like.
Oh, she'll describe him.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what he looked like. I think I wrote a few notes down, but I don't
I
remember.
have it, so I'm good.
Oh, and he hates jocks and he hates cats.
Oh, so he sounds like Melody's type, is what I'm hearing. He hates
Hey.
everything.
You don't know if Melody likes cats or not.
Hey, Melody likes gum. I hope.
There you go. So James, I'll go ahead and describe James for y'all. He is a very skinny young man, very angular face, sunken in cheeks, dark shadows under the eyes. He has his hair is dark and kind of styled in a very foppish kind of manner, a little bit over his face, so that
He's
you
emo.
kind of he's very emo. Yes, he is absolutely emo. He does wear dark glasses, big round lensed glasses, and while he was wearing the Coltrast uniform, underneath the jacket itself, your monogram jacket that everybody has to wear, he was actually had a hoodie on underneath that was zipped up, so you can only see a little bit of the tie. So 100%, yeah, emo kid.
I never understood people that could wear double jackets and like sweat. Like, I wear a t-shirt and I'm sweating. Like, people will are out here
Same.
wearing hoodies and jackets and then a winter coat, and I'm just, man, too much.
That's my daughter. She wears like 3-4 layers of clothing all the time. Like, how? I would be suffocating. But anyway, so what did you get for your perception?
7.
7. Oof. Yeah,
That's a horrible roll.
it's extremely crowded right now. All the students are out in the halls making their way, trying to get out, and You don't really see anybody of note, unfortunately.
Oh well.
This is a description I either didn't write down in a note or forgot to ask in like session 1 and session 2.
Mhm.
But the two cultists, were they like our age or like actual adults?
Oh no, they were actually adults.
Okay.
I think all the cult people were adults so far.
We'd recognize them if we ran into them again, right? Like that was pretty intense.
Possibly. Definitely possibly.
Okay.
Like if you just ran into them off the street, yeah, there'd definitely be one of those, hey, I remember you moments.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yeah. Like, unfortunately, it's the 90s, so you don't have cell phones that can easily take pictures or anything like that. So you didn't take pictures of their faces or anything like that. But you've got good memories, so.
So quick metagame question. I know as a player that we're supposed to be like doing all this sleuthing during our school day, but do we know, like, per se, that like we're supposed to be making sure that we know like what's going, because like that might affect what I'm doing during this time. Like I might try to round everybody up and be like, what'd you find out? Or I'm just like going home, you know, like,
So, yeah.
to, like, study and stuff.
For the Wanderer did explain at the previous evening when you're all at the park. He did explain a little bit of what you're supposed to be doing throughout the day. Gathering information, looking for oddities and clues and things like that. He told you that anything could lead to finding a spectral outsider. Go for the things that you find interesting, that you think is relevant. See where the lead goes. But generally, the Invading Evils tend to have a pretty common theme. They look for adults who they can control and manipulate, use them to draw more outsiders into the world, use them to kidnap people, siphon energy. They have a lot of different goals, but the main one is to bring more of them to the world to wipe out humanity.
Gotcha. And then I should have asked more questions when I was in the thick of it, but I was a little overwhelmed. When I was diffusing the situation between the two soccer teams, there were no adults around, right? This is just kid-inspired,
Yes.
kid-led.
Yes.
So I'm not sitting here worried about, you know, what may have actually caused or started that. It's just standard rivalry stuff, right?
Well, there weren't any adults around or anything like that. It was just those Laropan High kids that randomly showed up. But since you're kind of thinking about that right now, just go ahead and give me an insight check.
Okay, cool. Can everybody hear the music, or is it just like, can chat hear it as well?
Yeah, the music's
Okay.
actually playing on the stream.
It's not great. It's an 11.
Yeah, it's not great. The thing that I'm gonna tell you with your 11 is that something did feel a little off there. Like, why did these kids just show up to school, to your school, and start talking trash?
Right. Okay.
So it does stick out as unusual.
I am gonna to try to find everybody else, you know, during this time, see if we're all outside. Maybe I run up and like grab somebody and give them nuggies. I don't know, probably the sheriff, the cowboy. I'm like, hey everyone, what's going on? Did y'all see that craziness by the front, by the gate where fucking Laropa High showed up and just started talking some shit to us? Like, that was nuts. That was insane.
I
I don't think that's ever happened since I've been here.
got stuck in the worst conversation I've had in a very long time.
Hey,
Oh,
Matt,
no.
what's the check to avoid him?
That would be just a reflex. Well, acrobatics, I would say, probably.
Athletics.
Or athletics, yeah. It's just opposed athletics checks, really.
Sure, 14.
Damian, go ahead and give me an
Roll.
athletics check as well to see if you're quick enough to grab him.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a
Alright.
25.
Yep.
He
So
really wants to.
he really wanted to grab you and try to hug onto you, but you can't still like if that makes you uncomfortable, you are still have the agency to push him away.
Yeah, and I'll respect that. I was just coming up kind of buddy a little bit.
No,
more,
it's totally fine. I just wanted to see if I had instincts and reflexes quick enough to avoid him.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
And
enough.
then I
for
could
sure.
tease him about it.
Respect. So then, no, that was crazy. It was wild. What did you all find out? How did your day go?
Aisha's gonna show the now empty carton of milk and go, I just have a weird feeling about this kid. I want to try to find him.
Miss a kid?
Alright. Yeah, I'd say that's
It
weird.
could be connected. Like, this is like out of a movie. You don't see missing kid reports on milk cartons anymore.
Actually, yeah, you kind of do. That's a very, very normal thing to see around
Not-
La Ropa. Like,
Oh, okay.
like in the 90s, they did that stuff all the time. There was
It was
mean,
not
we-
like that. It was not like that where I grew up.
Yeah, we bought giant milk gallon jugs, like the
Mm.
plastic jugs, and those didn't have any like.
Yeah. Well, no, like,
sticker.
even like the cartons at school and stuff. Like, I would get anyway.
I thought that was back in the 50s, but cool.
I'm a Canadian. I don't know anything about America.
That's okay.
We'll say this is the world. Yeah, for sure. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, it is
yeah,
common
it could be
to
connected.
it is common to see him here in La Ropa. We'll just say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we should look into it. Anything that's out of the ordinary, right? And that's
Yeah.
kind of weird. Yeah. Why is a kid missing in a small town?
Still
We
think it's
should-
weird that kid had a book. Other bound book with no title.
I
That is
mean,
very having a book normal, but like no title. That's kind of culty. You said
Are
letter.
you
Yeah.
sure it was leather and not
believe
some
so.
other substance?
Like human skin.
I hope not.
that's creepy.
Kids
That's
just
even
reading the
creepier. I mean, he is
Necronomicon.
emo, but
What if it's just his journal? What if he's just journaling? Is it like a little moleskin journal? Maybe like he's just.
I don't know.
It's his
Apparently,
diary.
he writes for the paper. Maybe he writes it in there.
Maybe that's
It's
our
it's
end.
weird that it was near that whole commotion.
Immediately, sections. The bookstore, does sell a lot of like fake faux leather bound books, but
Hmm.
I understand your instincts. I think.
Well, we were told to find weird things, so
Hey, I respect it. Yeah,
it's on the
maybe-
list.
Maybe you want to join newspaper and try to see if you can become a buddy with him
Hmm.
I have my
or
dance
somebody,
after school.
one of us.
As
Cool.
you are the one who suggested it.
I mean, I'm on the soccer team. I can't. I got too much going on.
I could try. What would normally keep me busy is on hold for now.
You're not dancing and singing right now?
I was terminal last week.
I know, but you're not now. You don't want to start again?
Well, it's complicated. You can't just
All
like
right.
That
go-
would be most obvious.
I mean, I think a comeback concert would be legit, but hey, that's just me.
I have to be cleared by doctor still, and
Okay.
like I went into retirement, so I have to come back out, and that requires a lot of paperwork.
Hey, no rush. If you want to do the newspaper, I'm not going to stand in your way. I'll fully support it.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Well,
join. Just like check out this club. See what it's like.
Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Hopefully do a better job of leading the conversation.
I didn't do too good. He doesn't like me.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to love the pop idol.
Maybe.
You know, maybe I can wiggle an interview for him or something. A bargaining chip.
I don't
That's a
know.
really
He
good
might
idea.
like Melody.
It might be a cool way to like announce that you're better. Be like, hey, I kind of have a hot story. That's cool.
Well,
Does he actually write stories for it or just edit it?
oh, isn't he?
Nope. He's junior editor. Cat will flip through the newspaper and see if his name is attached to any of the stories.
Okay. You do a quick scan looking through the newspaper. It doesn't seem like his name's on any of the articles in that one.
Okay. Maybe it's a new position too.
But also, like, don't like editors they assign stories to like the reporters? Like,
Usually, I guess, if he's junior, maybe.
either
Maybe
way,
he was a reporter last year.
a point of contact's a point of contact, and we can work it from there.
Cool. I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out. I know some of the kids on the Leropa High team just because I live kind of on that part of town, if I remember correctly. I have to look at a map.
We can actually look and see real quick.
Embittered former teammates mad that you got a shot while they didn't.
Yeah, I'm curious if because we immigrated kind of young. Part of me wonders if I started out in public school and maybe had some friends.
Turned enemy.
Where's the
So
public
there's
school?
Leropa
Over
High
there.
right there.
Okay. Let me move this out of the way.
There's nothing around there. Well, none of us. None of.
Yeah, none of y'all live anymore around there.
Shoots. Okay.
I live on the right side of the river.
Unless you've moved since.
No, I mean I'm on the other side of the river.
They walked far.
Maybe I moved. I don't know. Can I do like a history check? Is there a chance that I know any of the players, that I recognize anyone that I could call somebody?
I would say that there's at least a chance that you would be able to recognize some of them. So what we're going to do is hey, I remember you roll to see whether or not you can recognize anybody. This is just going to be a D100. If you roll above a 75, you might know them.
I rolled a 33. No, did I get that right? Yeah, 33.
Yep, a 33. So no, unfortunately, you recognized faces, but you don't really have names to faces. So you recognize the fact that they were there, that they're members of Leropa High's football or soccer team, but you the names just aren't coming to you right now.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Damian, maybe you should talk to your teammates to find out how it started and everything. Have you?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll see if I can catch anyone else. I know our time is probably wrapping up in this phase, but I'll see if I can catch anyone else from the team. But I'm gonna go do that right now. So I'm gonna break off from the group and go find somebody and try to see if I can get to the bottom of how that happened, why that happened, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so while the rest of the team is gathering up to decide what they want to do for the free time phase, you go looking for one of the members of the soccer team. Go ahead and roll a. Oh, let's see here. Would that be an investigation? Yeah, roll an investigation check.
Okay. Sorry, I'm loading my character sheet again. Here we
Yep,
go.
no worries.
It's gonna be a 21 on investigation.
21. Go ahead. Yeah, it's going to be one of the three that you earned a social point with. Give me a name real quick.
Daniel Anderson.
Daniel. Okay, you see Daniel. He's making his way across the parking lot towards his car. But if you hurry, you're going to be able to catch him. So you go running
I'm gonna
off.
shout his name. Daniel, hey, hold up before you peel out.
Yeah.
Run up to
He
him,
turns and he turns and looks and he sees you and he kind of gives you a wave as you're jogging over to him. He's like, "Oh, hey, Damian, how's it going, man?"
Good. Look, I just had some questions about earlier. That was crazy. That was wild.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Europa team coming over. What was that about? What happened?
Dude, that was the weirdest thing. We were just going outside to kind of kick a hacky sack around for lunch, and as we were making our way across the field, those guys just came running up on the other side of the fence and started banging on the fence, like just out of nowhere. We didn't see them at all. Like they just came running up, and then they just immediately started talking shit, yelling at us, calling us names and stuff, and telling us how they're gonna kick our ass at the next match. It's like, what the hell are you doing here? Why are you on the property? You should be at school. How the hell did you even get here? It was the most bizarre thing.
Did you recognize anybody from the team? Like, is there anybody that you know from that other team that I could call them up, maybe find out why they did that?
He's gonna go ahead and sit back and think a little bit. Oh God, there was this one. Yeah. What was his name? And he's sitting there and he's trying to think about it. You know, I think that the tall one with the reddish hair, I think his name was Kyle something or other.
All right, cool.
Yeah, Kyle, and it begins with a D, a Kyle with a D, but I cannot remember what his last name is.
Cool. Hey, look, man, that was wild. This is great. This is fantastic. I'm gonna go talk to Coach, see if he can get on the phone with the LaRopa team coach, and that was messed up. Like, they shouldn't be coming onto our turf if it's not game day. That was crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll see what I can find out as to like why that happened. But like, hey man, good job walking away. Like, it's hard, blowing off steam like that. That's tough.
Man, like, if you didn't show up when you did and cool things down, I think we were actually gonna get into blows. Like, just they would not stop talking trash, and I don't know, like we just kind of lost it.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, no, the good job walking away. Have a great day, man. Thanks for the info. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, you too. See you later, dude. And he climbs in his car.
Cool. I guess, yeah, if the last thing I'll do is try to go talk to the coach about what happened and give him the info that I have. Because at this point, I have no reason not to trust all adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still have... Okay, cool.
Sure, absolutely.
But if we want to role play something else so that somebody else has a chance, I'm good with that.
Well, we're going to do this real quick. I just showed everybody the free time activities. So go ahead and take a look at those sheets. Now, is there anything anybody else is wanting to accomplish in school? Or is everybody else good to head out for the day?
No, I'm good.
I think I want to gather a bit more information before I go to the newspaper club. Also give Mr. Ronan a bit time to cool off after the encounter this afternoon.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, now the school newspaper does actually have information, and the newspaper club itself meets actually 2 days a week. It meets on Wednesdays and on Fridays.
Okay.
It's
probably a Tuesday today.
Today's a Monday.
Oh.
So tomorrow
right,
would be.
It's August.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that it didn't start in September.
Yep. Other than that, it does take place right after school, so from 3 to 6, right in the middle of your free time phase. Just so you know.
Cool.
Like all
awesome.
clubs do.
Yeah. So it doesn't. They don't meet today either way. So.
Mm-hmm.
That works out.
Okay. Now, Damian, you are able to catch Coach Appleman. He's in his office right off from the gym. You actually catch him as he's on the phone talking, and it sounds like he's kind of getting heated with who's ever on the other line.
Can I approach quietly, like like if I hear him and has he noticed me coming up yet, or can I like try to eavesdrop without his without catching his attention?
Roll a stealth check.
Oh no. Stealth. Oh man. Yeah, it's an 11.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's like looking out the window and into the gym, and he sees you approaching. And as you walk over to the door, you like kind of crouch down and you're walking towards the door. He puts his hand up and he shuts the door.
Ah, damn it. Okay. All right. I'll try to hear what I can through the door if possible, but yeah.
Yeah, perception check.
Okay. That's an 8.
Yeah, it's really, really muffled. Like,
Sure.
since he knows you're out there, he's trying to keep it down. But you can just tell from tone that he's getting kind of aggravated.
Okay.
Finally, he slams down the phone, walks around to the door once again, opens it, and says, Diaz, what can I do for you? That's it.
Hey.
What can I
hey,
do
Coach.
for you?
Hey, Coach. Hey. I just came to talk to you about what happened during lunch with the team and the Laropa High kids. You know.
Well, come on in. Come on in. Shut the door behind you.
I do so. I think at this point I'm a little nervous. You know, talking to authority figures makes me a little nervous, but it's cool. I know this guy. We've got some social points, so I throw my bag down and have a seat across from his desk.
Okay. Now, I heard about what happened at lunch today. In fact, I was just on the phone with Laropa High.
Yeah? What do you know?
I spoke to their coach, and he was not what's the word I'm looking for? He was he was not as willing to listen as I would like him to be. He knew his boys came down here. He said that, boys will be boys, and what's a little friendly rivalry between schools? And I was like, no, that's not what we're doing here. We're teaching these kids an ethical sporting, being good teammates, being good players, showing that camaraderie of spirit, not showing up and acting all. And he kind of looks at you and looks out the window, and he kind of whispers, like a bunch of jackasses. And then kind of his face goes even redder, like he just did the most horrible thing ever.
Yeah, wow, Coach. Yeah, I mean, you said it. Look, you said it. That was wild. I've never seen anything like that, you know? Like, and there's nothing we can do?
I mean, what could we do? It's not like we can just ban kids from showing up here. We can catch them in the act and send them on their way, give them a good stern talking to. But as long as they're not, doing making physical altercations, we can't exactly just call the police.
Okay. Cool. Well, good to know. So their coach didn't care at all.
Didn't care at all. Seemed actually kind of amused by it.
Far out. Okay. Good to know. Well, hey, thanks for your time, Coach. I'll see you at practice tomorrow.
Yeah, see you at practice. Be ready and be limber. We're gonna be doing a lot of drills tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'm looking forward to it. Awesome. And one more question. When is our game with Laropa High? Is that this Friday or?
He picks up the calendar and kind of looks at it. It's the 3rd week of September. So
Cool.
not quite a month away. Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'll see you at practice. Take care.
See you at practice, Diaz. And you make your way out. But even as you're walking away, like, it's no doubt you're like, their coach didn't care. They seemed amused by it.
Yeah,
Something
that stuck out to me.
Yeah, that's a bit odd.
Yeah.
Well, as you all gather up and head out from the building for the day, it's now time for free time activities. Free time activities in this game is it's basically something to do between school and doing your investigation when you can just chill out, relax, and possibly make some social points with some friends. Now, there's two different handouts here, but I'm going to kind of go over everything real quickly for the audience because they can't see this. But the free time events that everyone gets to do is things like head up the arcade, go to the mall, go out to eat, going to the movies, playing sports with friends, taking a moment of catharsis. I stumbled over that one. You can converse with a herald. You can hang out with a close friend. You can also, if you have enough social points with somebody, you can go out on a date. You can just rest and get some relaxation. You can study and complete homework. You can do combat training. You can also do a part-time job, which that's what David's doing for this segment since Tensei is away this session. Other things you can do is things like grinding a new rice, which if you lost a player and had to train one up quickly, this is the way you would do it. But we're not doing that right now. You can also adjust the soul armament, but we don't have any right now, so you really don't need to. But the last thing is mandatory detention. If you ever get detention, you're spending your free time activity just doing that. And that kind of sucks.
Unless you can escape.
Unless you can escape. Possibly not by putting your backpack in a hoodie. The other thing that free time phase is used for is your clubs. If you're a part of a club, you get to you use your free time phase for that, and you can increase your rank and do other sorts of things during your club time. But this is Monday, and I don't believe anybody actually has any for today. Let's see here.
Is there a club schedule in the handouts?
I'm pretty sure I made one. I'm looking right now. Yep, here it is. And I'll go ahead and show that to you. So we're in August 1996. It's Monday the 26th. So if you look on the schedule, the Marksmanship Club is on Sunday. Why? Because guns are Levi's religion.
Oh my God.
You're welcome. Tuesdays are soccer club, or is soccer practice, and the Ghost Hunter Club. Wednesdays is dance practice and art club. Thursday is a possible soccer practice as well if you don't do it on Tuesday. You can do one or the other, or you can do both. It's up to you. You got to do at least one a week, though, to maintain membership of the club. And Fridays is another dance practice time in case anyone wants to do with that on alternate days.
When are the soccer games? How are we doing that?
I was kind of thinking about that, and I think the soccer game should be on Saturdays, because on Saturdays, pretty much the only things you do is 2 free time phases. So it makes sense to have the games on those days.
Okay.
It also means that if you have to drive somewhere, there's time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Exactly.
Okay.
And newspaper club is Wednesday and Friday?
Is Wednesday and Friday.
Okay.
Which you just now learned, so by the next session I'll have that added to it as well. But then here is September's calendar as well, since, that's coming up in less than a week. And I'll just keep adding those in as we go. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go around the table and everyone gets to tell me what they're going to be doing for their free time phase. Let's just do this alphabetically, starting with... actually, I'm going to do it just as the overlay has it. So We're gonna go with Aisha.
All right. I think Aisha is gonna want to converse with the Herald.
Okay, that's fair, and that can be done pretty much anywhere. Like, you don't necessarily have to do it in any one particular place. I'll also remind you all that if everybody does the same activity, you all get a social point with one another. But that you don't have to. You can do other things as well. But Aisha is planning to hang out with the Herald. What's that?
It's possible to, if you were all in the same place, to get a different reward, but it has to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're all together, we'll still all get the points, and you can each choose a different reward as long as it makes sense for what we're doing.
So what you're saying is we all need to go to the arcade together so we can pool our tickets and get that 10 speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who gets to take it home? How do we decide who gets to use it? That sounds like a disaster.
I mean, I can have a conversation with the Herald at the arcade.
You could. You absolutely could. Damian, what are you wanting to do?
Man, that's a good question. I think I'm actually gonna go work my job. Like, maybe we can meta conversation this, because I wasn't expecting to spend 3 of my free times a week doing soccer if I'm doing soccer like on the clubs and doing a game on Saturday. So I was planning on.
That's why I said you only have to do 1 a week. You only have to go to. I mean, it's up to
It
you.
feels weird. No, I hear you.
And also
So
the
part of me
Saturday games. I also want to point out
Uh-huh.
the Saturday games isn't every week either.
Oh,
Just-
okay, cool. No, that's helpful. That's cool.
Yeah.
In that case, I kind of want to hear what everyone else is planning on doing, because I think if there's a way to score some social points, that's kind of, I think, my bent. But my backup, I think, would be to work my job, which is at the movie theater. I'd like to, work a shift there, because then I can like see people kind of in an investigative way, if that makes sense. Like I can
Sure.
see
How
most people, see
religious
if any of
is
the
your
Europa hype.
family, Los?
They're not.
Okay. Okay.
Why?
Well, I was just gonna say, I had something to say if your family happened to be religious at all.
Yeah, no. I'm playing the idealized version of my family. This one's not religious.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Well,
yeah,
okay, so you're wanting to
yeah.
hear what everyone else has to say. So
I do. That's my preference. Yeah.
Katrina, do you know what you want to do?
Quick, everyone just pass till it gets back to Los.
Well, I was looking at the list, and there's nothing that really stands out. But I had some questions for the Herald, so I was hoping to talk to him.
Okay. Well, talking
Question
to the Wanderer
from-
could be done pretty much anywhere, so that's good to know. Levi, how about you?
I'm gonna see what Melody is doing. Try and connect with her.
Melody?
Is it my turn? Okay. So I wanted to do the go out to eat thing, but if some people are going to the arcade, like if Kat and oh my gosh, my mind just blanked. Aisha. There you go. If you two are gonna talk to the Herald at the arcade, I think Melody would go there too and maybe just grab some food there.
Well, they haven't. No, but I don't think anybody's said anything about the arcade at all.
Oh,
They
I
were
thought Aisha
joking.
did.
I think they were joking about that.
Well,
Yeah,
I thought I said I can if you are going to
Oh,
the
okay.
arcade.
Gotcha.
I'd hit up the arcade if people want to hit it up. I would totally hang with the team.
Okay.
Sure, the arcade seems fine to me.
You get some of that marksmanship practice in with those
Yeah.
light guns.
School you at one of those hunting games or something.
Let's do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hit up the arcade. Maybe I'll
Sure.
communicate with everyone what I heard from the coach, because that the little communicators, right? We have those, the little wrist
Yeah,
things.
you have those.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
th-
So I'll communicate with everyone what happened. Just be like, hey, testing. Can you all hear me? Like in a quiet spot where no one can see me. Maybe I'll go into the bathroom or something and
Sure.
and communicate with everyone what happened with the coach, and then just be like, hey, what are y'all doing? I'm kind of itching to play some games. Anybody want to go to the arcade?
Yes, I will play your game. Mwahahaha.
All right, man. All right, I'll see
Okay.
you there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can tag along. I want to talk to you know who.
Cool. So because I have an after school job, I have a car that I pay for. So if anybody wants a ride, I'm happy to. Can I have a car? Am I allowed to have a car?
I can.
Yeah.
I'll allow you to have a car
Okay, cool.
as long as you don't use it to run over any street lamps or anything like someone else we used to know.
For some reason, my character is deathly afraid of getting into cars driven by player characters. I wonder why.
Yeah, cool. I would love to have a car. Fantastic.
Yeah, I
It's a
mean-
family
the
car.
bus.
Access to the
Thank
family
you.
car. It's not my car.
Yeah, it's a family car, but you get to use it to go to school and get to your job or whatever. So absolutely,
Legit.
Unless you're
Awesome.
grounded.
unless you're grounded, which is always a possibility. But if that works for Melody, she can get something to eat there. Y'all can talk to the Herald while Damian and Levi are battling it out, playing the games. Absolutely.
Oh,
Okay.
laser tag.
Let's do it. I'm into it.
1v1.
Laser tag.
For sure. Laser tag.
Okay. Well then, check this out here because they actually have an arcade.
It's a big black square.
Can't see it. Oh man. Hold on.
Big black square.
Just like my arcade back home. Because they tore it down.
Oh, that's why. I see why.
Oh, that's so sad.
And replaced it with a
There,
basketball.
can you see it now?
Oh!
Mhm.
An arcade. It's colorful.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. It looks so nice.
That's,
Ding, level up.
that's how you
Sorry,
need
chat.
That's how you need the nostalgia.
Oh no. They get to see it too. Here we go.
Oh,
I'm
do they?
showing them right
Okay,
now. Yeah, or at least part of it. But this is actually the actual arcade from the upcoming Magi-Knights Awakening handbook. This is some of the art from it. I like it. I think it looks really cool. You got the dance machine
awesome.
on the one side. I can see the claw game. Heck yeah. Very cool.
Nice job avoiding licensing. Well done.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's
But
so
anyway, so Bright Crystal Arcade is actually a place in the city. It's not far from the school at all. It's actually only a couple blocks away. Like maybe 6 or 7 or so. So, I mean, it takes like 3-4 minutes to drive from Coltrass Academy over there. The building itself is actually in a little bit of a strip mall. There's one of those Chinese food places to one side of it. There's an insurance company on the other. But in the middle, taking up at least 3 spaces, is the gigantic arcade known as Bright Crystal Arcade. You all walk in and immediately see that garish lights, the cacophony of sounds that's all trying to compete with one another to be the loudest and the most obnoxious and to draw as many people as humanly possible to go and play. And as it is the end of the day and school's out, the arcade is quite busy. Lots of kids come here right after school, and you can see just at a glance at least a dozen or more Coltrass students wearing their blazers as they're sitting there hitting the buttons. You also know that the arcade itself is a very, very popular place. Pretty much everybody comes here at least once or twice, and as you all walk in, you hear the voice of the Herald speaking to you. he says to you, "Oh, wow, you're going to Bright Crystal Arcade? That's awesome. Hey, before you leave, you got to check out the Crane game. The Crane game has these amazing prizes in it, and I've been really wanting to collect all of them. If you can get one, I'll give you something in return."
Ooh.
All right. Cool. I'm
Have you
also
tried
going
to
to
play
keep
it?
an eye out for any La Ropa High students, just in case. See if I recognize anybody from the fence.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Well, that's being rolled. I want to establish that Aisha has changed out of her school uniform and into like street clothes.
Okay. You probably could have done that in the bathroom before you
Yeah.
left school. Yeah, absolutely.
14 on perception.
Okay. With a 14, the first thing your eyes go immediately to the Crane game when you hear the Wanderer's voice, and there's actually a young lady in a Coltrane uniform playing it right now. She's kind of short. She has mousy brown hair, very large eyes, and kind of a bit of a button of a nose. And I do have art for her as well. So I'll go ahead and show that to you.
Yeah, Ronan looked pretty cool, man.
Ah, yes.
Lacey Beckford. Yeah, she's cute. I will totally walk up and introduce myself and say hello.
This answers my question when I was looking at the map of who's Lacey.
Oh, she's just a girl who didn't have any friends.
Mm-hmm. She's over there playing the Crane game, trying really, really hard to get a stuffed animal from the back of it. And as you're approaching her, Damian, you see the Crane go down, try to grab up the side of a stuffed bear, but the angle was just all off, and it immediately slips through the claw, and she just kind of stomps her foot and pouts a little bit there, not really noticing that anybody's around. What do you do?
I'm gonna say, man, that was so close.
She jumps a little bit and turns back. Yes, that was really close. I can't believe I missed that one. And she starts fishing around in her pockets, and seems to be coming up short. It's like, oh man.
Look here, allow me. I'm gonna, do I need to do a check to make sure that I have cash, or do I have any cash?
Sure, do an investigation check. Let's see how much money you got.
Oh God. That's a 10. It's a flat 10.
You kind of pat yourself down and you come up with like a couple bucks in singles and maybe 3/4 in your pocket.
Yeah, as long as it's not. Yeah, I'll absolutely pay for her to have another chance and be like, come on, you can't give up. You gotta try again. And and I'm gonna put the money into the however much it costs to have her shoot her shot.
Yeah, it's 50 cents for her shot. You
Cool.
put in the 2/4 and her eyes just go big and light up and say, "Oh wow, thank you. Hey, I recognize you from school, don't I? Are you on the football team? No, the soccer team?"
Yeah, the soccer team. Yeah. I hope I don't look like I'm on the football team. Those guys can be jerks.
She kind of chuckles a little bit at that and like, "Yeah, you're right. Those muscle-bound jock types, they're not really my thing anymore. But thanks, I really appreciate it." And she turns and grabs that handle and starts manipulating once again, trying to get the stuffed bear. Let's see how she does. 50. No, she gets, and she thinks she has it. She hits the button, the Crane goes down, slips right through. Oh, man.
I want to use my reroll. I want to let her reroll.
Oh, you want her to reroll? Okay. Use that
Yeah.
coin to reroll, absolutely. 31, even worse.
Bummer.
A valiant attempt, and she looks at it, seems kind of dejected, but she says, Thanks a lot, though. I appreciate it. I've never been good at this thing. I've been trying for a really long time, and I almost try every day, and I can never get them.
We'll get them one day.
I'm Lacey, by the way. What's your name?
I'm Damian. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lacey. You're, it's.
She kind of smiles a little bit, and it's nice to meet you too. Really is.
I don't think we should give up, and I'm gonna do another 50 cents so that she can keep trying. But I also don't want to hog all the role play time. So like, I want to.
Well,
can
that's
we do
fine.
this for a little while?
Yeah, the two of you can be doing that for a little bit. But what's everybody else doing? I know, Melody, you said you're looking for food, right?
Yep, I'm gonna go order from the counter.
Well, nothing is better than the perfect meal or dessert. You can reduce either your exhaustion or your stress points by 1 and gain the well-fed effect. This allows you to re-roll any dice rolled during your next physical skill check. So anything that's a con, dex, or strength. Once used, erase it from your sheet, and you also lose the well-fed effect at the end of the night. So don't forget about that. You want to use it before you go to bed. What do you order from the arcade? I figure they have like concession stand and popcorn, movie style snacks, things like that. Popcorn, pizzas, burgers, whatever.
Tater tots.
I'll just get a slice of pizza, and I think she'd probably eat the combo pizza. And then sit down and just people watch and try to look for, while she's eating, she'll people watch and try to look for someone who maybe is there alone playing.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you get your pizza and walk over to an empty table nearby.
Okay. Ah. I got a 5.
You sit down, and the first person you see who's alone is actually Levi, who was abandoned by Damian almost immediately they walked through the door.
What a dick.
I'm sorry. When I see a cute girl, can't help myself.
Hey, we all understand. While that's going on, Kat and Aisha, the two of you wanted to talk to the Herald.
Yeah.
And really, like, you kind of want to do this unobtrusively, so maybe the two of you grab a table. That way it looks like you're talking to each other instead of just, talking to empty air.
What if we're, like, playing, like, a 2-player arcade machine, and the Herald's just, like, sitting on top?
I like it. Yeah, absolutely. You look for one of those 2-player games, some type of fighting game or something like that. And let's say that it's 96, so Tekken. There's a Tekken game that's open and available, and the two of you walk over to it and grab it. And as you do, you see the Wanderer sitting there on top of it, just laying on the side of it, paws dangling over the edge, tail kind of flicking a little bit, just a little bit out near your face. But he smiles as Kat, you walk up and give him some scritches, and he gets that big Cheshire grin with that and says, "Well, okay. I heard you saying you wanted to talk to me. What's going on?"
You can go first, Kat.
Yeah, I had some questions. Like, the crystal, what exactly does it react to? Does it only react to outsiders, or does it react to cultists? Or, like, how does this work?
Okay. So, for the mechanics of this, when you attempt to gather extra knowledge regarding your purpose, the invading evil, your powers, or whatever.
Mhm.
So, what I'm going to need from you, from each of you, when the time comes, is to attempt a mysticism skill check. On a success, you're going to learn a piece of obscure lore or get some answers. On a failure, you're only going to receive one benefit. Oh, and an inspiration point. If you succeed, you get your answer plus an inspiration point. So that's what that is. So go ahead and roll your mysticism check.
15.
15. Very nice. So yeah, you are going to earn that inspiration point. So go ahead and mark that on your character sheet. Don't forget that inspiration points can use to be to activate your student skill, and it also just works like regular D&D inspiration. So if you fuck up a roll, you can choose to re-roll it. Use
Where
that
does it go on
inspiration
the
point
sheet?
that way.
Okay.
On your character sheet, it would be there on the main page.
I found it.
Okay. So you want to know what your crystals are? Well, it's kind of complicated, but I'll explain it to you as best as I can. Essentially, what your soul crystal is a physical part of your soul that has been crystallized and fused with power to create the gem. It's literally a piece of your soul, or, well, I say soul, but to be honest, that word itself doesn't really quantify what it is, but using the language that we're speaking here, your earth languages, soul is the best way to describe it. It's a piece of you, a piece of your essence, and what happens is it gets pulled out and crystallized so that you're able to use it as a focus. It allows you to focus your magical powers and externally use it. That gives you your armor, your powers as a Magi-Knight. So in essence, it's literally a focus for your power. Now, as for how it reacts, what it reacts to specifically is the spectral energy that outsiders leave. So if somebody is using power, like say a human has been infused with the spectral energy of the outsiders for whatever the reason is, while they're using it, your soul crystal will light up in response. If there's any of the invading evil actually here and you're near it, it'll react immediately. But for humans, it generally only shows up if they're actively using their abilities.
Okay. So, like, somebody could be a cultist, but if they're not actually doing anything at that moment,
You won't
it won't
know.
react.
Yeah. No, unfortunately not. I wish it did. That would actually make your jobs a lot easier. You could just kind of walk around and use it as like a compass or something. But no, unfortunately, it really doesn't work that way.
And what are we supposed to be looking for exactly for these clues?
Well, there's a lot of different things, to be honest. Like the last time that an outsider was here, that outsider was kidnapping kids and was getting ready to take them back to their own dimension. So the David and his friends, they started investigating, just looking around for any oddities. They eventually found that a bunch of kids were getting sick, and they started looking into them and discovered that a couple of them were already kidnapped. The whole connection was, and then he looks over and the cat points with his tail toward Damian and the girl he's standing next to, who has which actually, let's go ahead and roll that one more time just to see what happens. Nope, still missed it entirely that time. The Wanderer, you see that girl over there? Her name's Lacey Beckford. The a spectral outsider called Relahia had heard her wishing upon a shooting star. She was wishing for someone to love her because she felt unloved. And the spectral outsider heard that and went and possessed her stuffed rabbit, a stuffed toy, and started talking to her and whispering to her and telling her that it would help her find her true love. And Lacey believed it because she was so lonely. And through her and the cult that was worshiping Relahia, she was inadvertently a part of the kidnapping. Now, she didn't do it herself. What she was doing was she was collecting these dolls that this cultist doll maker was making.
So our crystal wouldn't have reacted to Lacey unless she was doing something specifically.
Yeah, that's right. It wouldn't react. It didn't react to Lacey at all when they are around, and
Okay.
but the outsiders themselves, the moment they showed up and got on scene, that's when the crystals start reacting. Does that answer your question?
Sort of. So there's a lot of weird things going on, like that milk carton. There was missing person.
Yeah.
If-
People go missing all the time around here. A lot of it has to do with the spectral outsiders. Just unfortunately, sometimes they don't get noticed that they're missing for a while, or sometimes they've just been gone so long it's impossible to find. But if you can find them, if you can stop them, there's a possibility it might be an outsider.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Aisha, you had a question too, right?
Well, I kind of had two, and I answered one of them. But I was wondering a bit more about the magic that humans can use for their connections to these outsiders. How is that knowledge transferred? Is it just something they understand, like us with our soul crystals, or does it have to be written down somewhere and learned?
Okay. And while you're at it, go ahead and make your mysticism check as well to see whether or not you get that point.
14.
14. You do get your inspiration point.
Yay.
So, the Wanderer kind of thinks for a little bit, and he says, to be honest, it's kind of a little of all of the above. Sometimes the outsider, when they find a good human host, they just grant powers to them. It's a little weird, to be honest. Sometimes the outsiders whisper to them and speak to them. Sometimes they possess them. Sometimes people learn just by finding spells and things. I mean, through all human history, there's stories of people who, practice magic, study magic, do different things like that. Now, 90% of that is just bogus. It's all hoodoo and stuff like that. But for every 1,000 things that are fake, there's at least one that has a nugget of truth to it. And if you look hard enough and you find them, well, you can teach it to yourself. But that in and of itself comes with its own problems. I mean, powers like that corrupts. If you go out of your way to study and find these things, sure, you can do some magic as long as you have the innate ability to do so. But that strain also very, very significantly puts a strain on your soul. Eventually, it leads to corruption, death, all sorts of bad things. Or maybe you just do something wrong and the whole thing just blows up in your face.
All right. I think that will help us know what we're looking for a bit better. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm always happy to help if I can.
Thank
Kind of
you.
preens. He preens a little bit and jumps onto your shoulder and kind of nuzzles around your neck and your head.
I just want to be clear that you just pet the air, according to everyone around.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
just check.
Just playing a video game, it just kind of. Maybe
Shaking
her
out your
hand was
sweaty
down.
hands. Yeah.
It doesn't have a touchscreen. Also, I know what touchscreens are, totally.
Ugh. I'm gonna give it to her. Finally, after like you've wasted pretty much all of your money here, Damian, chilling with this girl, but
Yeah, I'm good with that.
but she finally gets the stuffed bear. It's about this big. It's got a big old heart in the. It's a Care Bear. Let's just be honest. It's a Care Bear.
Perfect.
But she squeals and kind of claps her hands in that girlish fashion that makes her like you know she's a high school student, but she acts very much like an adolescent.
How what do I know this girl? Have I seen her around, or is this the first time we're meeting? This is
Go ahead and make an hey, I remember you roll. Let's see
that's
if
a
you
D100,
remember.
right?
It's a D100.
That's a 48.
So you've never met her. You've never interacted once again. You're pretty sure she's younger than you, probably in a grade younger, and you've never had any real interactions together.
Okay. I'm gonna ask her straight up. So what grade are you in?
Oh, I'm a junior.
Oh,
You're
okay.
a senior, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm surprised I haven't seen you around.
Well, I kind of kept to myself a lot last year. I have a few friends that I hang out with, but a lot of them moved away over the last summer.
Oh man, that's so sad. That's a bummer.
I still have my friend David. He sometimes comes here and we'll play a game together, but you know, she just kind of shrugs a little bit. He's also busy a lot of the time.
Well, if you ever wanted to eat lunch together at school or something, you can definitely come and find me.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Or if you wanted to catch a movie or something else outside of school, I'd be down for that as well.
She gets really, really red at that. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
With advantage?
No. Well, you know what? You did win. You did help her win that
You did
bear.
help her win that teddy ring, yeah.
I'm gonna give you advantage on this.
Money, thank you. Yeah, that's a 13. Trying again. That's a 7. So 13.
Ouch. She kind of smiles a little bit and kind of chuckles, and she says, well, maybe we can have lunch sometime. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll start with
see.
lunch. Let's just get to know each other. I like making new friends, and you seem like a cool person. So enjoy the bear. I'm glad you got it.
She hugs it a little bit. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate this, and I'll definitely enjoy it. What should I name her?
It's a great question. Do you have a theme? Do you have other stuffed animals that you like to name?
She at that question, her eyes kind of get a little downcast, and she looks away from you. And she's like, no, not anymore.
Okay, well, how about Damian?
Slick moves.
Master.
One more persuasion check. Let's see if you can do it.
Low enough Levi to creep on a new girl.
That's a 15. Is it creeping if she's responding positively?
She's a grade 11 also. I don't know what
First,
that means.
first time you meet her, you're like, "Hey, why don't you name this bear after me?"
I mean, he's just being smooth, and his role is good enough. I'm going to say, I guess so. I can go with Damian. Why not?
Yeah, I mean,
Now-
that's not my name. My name's Damian, right? And so, yeah, like, Damian. Yeah. Cool. Is that? It's a nice way to
Damian?
remember our first time. Yeah. My name is Damian, right?
Damian.
From
Okay.
Damian. Yeah. But Damian. Yeah. If you name the bear Damian, it'll be a nice little reminder of like the first time we met.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. Well, thank you, Damian.
Yeah. No problem. It's my pleasure.
Now, Levi, what have you been doing after watching
Step
Damian?
one would have been to get increasingly pissed off as I get blown off. But then I would just go and play laser tag without him.
Fair enough. Laser tag is pretty fun. There's a lot of people that are actually playing, and you kind of lose. After a little bit, you just kind of forget about your friends and get really, really into the game. Go ahead and give me, let's say a coordination check. Let's see how well you're doing.
Righty. No, that's the wrong section. Natural 20 for a 23.
Whoa!
I am top score.
You
Cowboy.
dominate that game like it's not even a challenge for you. You walk out from the because it's one of those things where like you go through a door and there's like this little maze area of 3 or 4 rooms and different things to hide behind and stuff like that. And by the time you get out, your match is over and you walk out again, your name is right at the top of the high score.
Do I have the opportunity to like get a thing? Like sometimes they'll have like those fake newspaper pictures or like, you know.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I would say that yes, there is some sort of like an award kind of thing where it's basically a piece of paper. It shows a picture of you smiling and then another one of like an actual capture shot from inside where it shows you shooting or something like that from above.
Nice.
And so high score winner, it has the number of the score, and it's actually good for 2 free pulls over at the Craig game.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna do that then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, does he walk up while we're hanging out there and chatting?
Probably by the time he gets out and is given that, you're finishing your conversation with Lacey, and she's saying to you, well, thank you, Damian. I'll see you at school tomorrow, probably.
Do I hear that?
Yes, you do. You're hearing that as you walk up.
Oh, hey.
Are you also a student from another country? I can help you if you have trouble pronouncing his name, Damian.
It's Damian, Levi. Levi, this is
That is
Lacey.
not what you told me. Are you pulling on my leg?
No. My mistake. I'm so used to people calling me Damian because, there's a lot of white people here. It's just kind of, I've adopted it. But the way to actually pronounce my name is Damian. If you want to, but you can call me Damian if you want. Lacey, this is Levi. Levi, Lacey. Lacey goes to school with us.
Yeah. Hi, Levi. It's nice
Hello,
to
madam.
meet you too.
What do you got there?
She's holding this bear to her chest a little bit.
Well, I got bored of waiting for you to come play laser tag with me, so I went on my own, no?
That's right. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. We were going to play laser tag together. How'd you do?
I'll just... so I'll say... I did okay, but I'll be like doing that thing where I sort of like surreptitiously hold out like the high score award in like such a way where it's like I'm trying to show it to them so that they'll notice it while also at the same time saying things that I can remain humble,
Yeah, false humility. I get it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really impressive. You got the high
Whoa.
score.
We
Nice going.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, and that means you get to do the crane game for free. I think. Oh, we
Yes,
should Damian, we should get out of his way. Let him go.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what you get.
yes. Would you I'll look at Lacey. What exactly must I do
Oh,
for
well,
this thing?
let me show you how it works. And she begins explaining to you how you move the little crane around, you hit the button, and it goes down, and you're trying to grab one of the prizes, but the claw is really really weak and doesn't like to grab things for most of the time, and so it's really really difficult. And she's explaining this whole thing to you.
I understand. Yes, let me give this a shooting, if I will. All right, so I just roll a d100. Yes.
Yep, just roll a d100.
First roll 93. Boom.
Wow!
Immediately.
Immediately you grab one of those prizes. A 93 is a
That's-
chart. So you manage to grab basically what looks like a model of a giant dragon. It's freaking awesome. Like, the details on it is extraordinary. You got big old wings, a little bit of fire coming out from the side, and as it drops down into the basket, you hear in the back of your head, Levi, "Oh wow, you got one of the really good ones. That's a cool one right there. Oh man, if you trade that to me, I'll give you something really really good." And
Awesome.
basically, you can trade it for a shard that's rarity 5 or less, or a gift worth 4 social points, or 1 budget tally.
Ooh. I will have to look at the shard list, but let me make my second roll, because I get 2. 81. Boom again.
Nice. So twice in a row, you managed to get something. This time, you grab it looks kind of like an Ultraman figurine. Full armor, big fin on the head, red and silver, big bug eyes, that sort of thing. And the Wanderer says again, "Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Yeah, you definitely, that's definitely worth something too." He will give you a shard of rarity 2 or less. Now, I will remind you, you can only have one type
shard
of
at a
every
time.
shard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have multiple shards, but you can only have one shard of any one type.
Cool.
Okay.
I will just look at Lacey and go, certainement, you are a very good instructor.
Man, I can't believe you got 2 immediately. I almost never get them. And she's like kind of clapping. And actually, everybody around you kind of claps a little bit watching it. The first time it was like, holy shit, so this kid got one, but then 2 in a row, and everybody is staring at you.
Nice going, cowboy.
I'd like to think that Aisha kind of sat down with Melody, and Aisha just like leans over. I don't know which one of them to root for.
So when you talk to Melody, you see that while she's eating, she's drawing in her sketchbook, and she has a sketch of Levi looking angry as Damian is at the crane game with Lacey, and so she's just drawing them and kind of like laughing to herself, and she'll say, yeah, it seems like Damian got there first though, so I don't know if Levi stands a chance or not.
I really love your line work, by the way. I hope you draw me sometime.
Sure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, at the end of your free time period, Damian, you got a social point with Lacey, and Levi, you do as well, because she was very
Nice.
impressed with you getting 2 in a row. And if you want to, you can just text me which 2 shards you want.
Sure. Is there a list in the book about budget tallies? What those are good for? Like some examples.
Yeah, so budget tallies are things that you're trying to get that isn't a normal a normal item, because like everybody has money and that sort of thing. We don't like really pay too much attention to funds. But if you want something really big, like say a new computer or something like that, you would tell me, hey, I want this new computer, I want to start earning it, and you start gaining budget tallies for like going to work. If when you accumulate the proper, like say you wanted to buy a computer, I'd say, oh, that's probably 5 budget tallies. So you'd have to get 5 budget tallies through going to work, and once you did, you got your new big thing.
Hey, Kira. I was just searching for budget tallies in the rulebook, and I came to the glossary, and for the definition of budget tallies, it says a period of time in a single day broken down into school, free time, investigation, and patrol phases.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd like to think we already fixed it, but I will make a note
Okay.
just in case. Thank you.
Yep. But no, I remember from the last game what they do. I was just trying to see if there was like examples. But I'll think about it. What about a horse?
I mean, theoretically,
50.
I had a friend in high school who had a horse.
yeah. I mean, I suppose it's theoretically possible. I don't know where you'd keep it and that sort of thing. And horses tend to be kind of expensive.
That's true. I'll think about it for now.
Like, I don't even know how much a horse would cost in the real world.
I don't know. I'll think about it.
It'd be probably comparable to like a computer in '96.
So let's see. Just Googling price of a horse. To buy a horse, you can expect to pay between $100 and $10,000, depending on the horse's breed pedigree. So average cost of a hobby horse is around $3,000, and that's in today's dollars. So probably more like $152.
Is Levi a horse girl?
I'm a cowboy.
I dig it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'll think about
That's-
it and decide.
Okay. Well, that's it for our free time phase, and since it is 7:30, this is also an excellent time to pause and take a break. So we will be back in about 10 minutes, folks, and when we return, we're going to have our Magi-Knights head into their investigation phase. Should be a lot of fun. Stay tuned. Howdy, everybody. We are back. And when we last left off, the team was finishing up their free time activity. Now, since everybody decided to do their free time together at the arcade, everybody gets a social point with everybody else. So all 5 of you gain us 1 social point with each other.
You sure it's not -1 for me and Damian?
Sometimes a
I
friendly
mean-
rivalry is still a deeper bond.
Oh, I don't
I
care
agree with
about
that.
Lacey. I was just being nice to her. I meant that he left me to go hit on some chick when he said we were going to play laser tag together.
I mean, if you could have come with me, we could have, figured it out. But like, yeah, I full on accept that I messed up.
I'm
Make it up.
joking.
We also get 1 social point just for free time phase.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Every free time phase, you get 1 social point as long as you're with somebody in your phase.
So who can we spend that on then?
Anybody who is there with you.
So we can spend it on the Herald?
Yes.
Well, technically he was there, so I suppose if you want to spend it on the Herald, you could.
Could I spend it on Lacey? Even though I already got the one with her? Or how does that...
I would say, yeah, you probably could.
Okay,
Sure, that's fine.
cool.
I have no points with the Herald. Maybe I should add one.
So the only person on our team who wasn't there was David, right? All of us were at
Yes.
the arcade and we're all hanging out. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I still have a 0 with him.
Me too.
Yeah, same. Zero.
I just added 1 to the Wanderer, so now the Wanderer has more social points than David does.
Nice.
This is why he leaves us.
Yeah, if we're walking away from the arcade, I'm gonna mention to Levi. I'll make it up to you, man. I'm sorry I blew you off. That wasn't cool. And,
It
you know,
is fine. I was not seriously injured in my emotion. It is simply something that I often have to beware of coming from a new country, that someone might be speaking in a way that is incorrect, not the truth.
valid.
Basically just saying that, you know, like, if you're a kid from another country, sometimes somebody might, like, pretend to want to get to know you or whatever, and then they actually just, like, blow you off because they don't care or whatever.
Yeah, I'll definitely say my priorities were skewed, but you know, I still want to hang out. We'll figure out another time.
There you go. Well, as you're all making your way out from the arcade, you do see Lacey leaving as well. She kind of waves to both of you, Damian and Levi. And then you see her actually getting into a car with an older woman that looks a lot like her, clearly her mother, who has come to pick her daughter up before heading home. She kind of gives you both a wave and smiles at you and kind of holds up the bear and has the bear wave to you as well.
You know, love it. I'm here. I'm eating it
So
up.
cute.
Yeah, it seems like she's gotten a little more charisma since in the last year.
That's good.
Well, now we are moving into our investigation phase.
Dun, dun, dun.
Investigation phase is basically the time period where the Magi-Knights spend time looking for clues or anything that might point them to where the outsiders might be doing stuff. Now, the way this works is one of two things. If A, you already have something you want to investigate, we're going to go into that. B, if you don't know, if you have nothing to look for that you specifically want to go and investigate, you can just do some random investigation. You can do this by, chatting up the locals, going to the library and searching for newspaper articles and things like that. You could go watch the news and see what's coming up on the news, because it's about 6 o'clock now in the evening. It's still sunny out, but the sun is slowly making its way to the to setting. I kind of fucked that one up, but that's okay. Anywho, now the first question I always ask at the beginning of an investigation phase is if anybody has something specific they want to look into. Does anybody?
Go
Mhm.
ahead.
I want to look into Jeremy Tanner a bit more.
Okay. You want to look into Jeremy Tanner, the kid from
milk
the
carton,
milk
yeah.
carton? Absolutely. Chances are you either would probably want to look for more information about him, like maybe whether or not there's a police report filed or if there's been newspaper articles about him, something like that. Is that kind of what you're wanting to
Yeah,
to do,
I think
or
I
if
would
you have
definitely,
anything?
look into like I guess since he's a minor, the public records check would be mostly redacted. So I guess be looking for like a newspaper article or something.
Okay, absolutely. So
Hey.
sounds like
Just a quick FYI, Matt. It started thunderstorming here, so if I suddenly drop off, then it will be because my power got knocked out. I don't think it's gonna happen, but
gotcha.
It's always worth noting.
yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it is supposed to rain either tonight or tomorrow. So there is 2 handouts about investigation. The main one is the first one that we really want to look at right now. Now, during this phase, like I said, the squad investigates the presence of the invading evil by collecting information and investigating rumors. Like Aisha said, she wants to look into this kid, so going to public records would be kind of pointless, but newspaper articles might be a way to do that. So probably the local library is where you're wanting to head.
Yeah.
I am going to move you guys over to the map now, because this bit's a little bit important. Everyone who wants to go to certain places, we're going to be moving our tokens, so we kind of know where we all are. The public library, where is that? It's around here somewhere.
Yes,
Or the
kitty,
library,
we're
right
going to
there.
the library.
I know, my cat is in there meowing like crazy. But anyway, the Loropo Library is down here. So a little ways away. But there is public transport here in Loropa City. It functions all the way up till about 9 o'clock. So you got plenty of time to use it. Levi, I heard you also say you had something you wanted to investigate.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look over at Damian and go, how about this? Follow me to, where I play.
Play or pray?
Yeah, sorry. Play or pray? I didn't quite understand that.
A bit of both, I suppose.
I mean, I was gonna look into the Loropa High coach and see if I can get some information on him. See if I can figure out like when he joined the school, things of that nature. But
Blowing me off again.
Going
Going downhill already.
I mean, this time I didn't make a commitment. No, I mean, I think I would, say, yeah, I'll make it up to you. Yeah, if this is what you want me to do, I'll come with you to where you pray. Is that what you said? Play?
Matt, do you know where we're going?
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going. But why don't you go ahead and explain to Damian where you're going?
We're going to the gun club.
Okay.
We're going to the shooting range.
He's gonna shoot you.
Watch your back.
Yeah, Loropa Gun Club. It's actually not too far from Bright Crystal Arcade.
Yep.
Still on this side of the river, anyway.
Yeah.
How do I move my token on Roll20? How do I make that happen?
You just click on it and then you can drag.
Where is my token? Maybe
Probably here at Coltress Academy.
Now, what I figure, Matt, is that a lot of the people at the gun club are probably going to be older, and there's also probably going to be a fair amount of like anti-government people, but you also might get some of the like weirder hillbillies who are kind of the like conspiracy nut jobs. So if there's something weird going on or like a creature out there or something, then they might know about it, just sort of gossip and things.
Sure. So basically you're going to be collecting some gossip. I like it.
Solid idea. No, I'm into it. Yeah, let's roll. I'll drive. And drive us there.
Okay. Melody, Kat, how about the two of you?
I would like to go to St. Mary's to learn about their sobriety program that we found the chip for.
Interesting.
That's what I was
absolutely.
thinking.
Oh, so do the two of you want to go together?
I didn't know what I was going to do, and I'm like, wasn't there something? There might have been there was something to do with alcohol in that chip, and I was like, should look at that. Oh, I couldn't remember the name of the place though.
This works out. We're all going in groups of 2 because there's 2 Aishas on the board for some reason.
Huh, that's weird.
Where is the St. Mary's?
You can delete one of them. St. Mary's is also on this side of the river.
Hey, it's right near my house.
It is. You probably see it as you're walking to school every day. Or driving or whatever.
Well, she takes her bike to school.
Okay, biking to school.
And I think, doesn't Melody rollerblade?
Yep.
We will go up there, I guess, and check it out.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm sure I could give them a ride on our way to the gun club.
Oh, no.
Seems like it's kind of on the way.
I don't see why not.
Tight.
Okay. So you drive them over to St. Mary's Cathedral, let the ladies out before continuing on to the La Ropa Gun Club. Now, what I want each of you to do is to roll an investigation check. And then you're going to hold on to that number. Whoever gets the highest, I'm going to focus on their scene first. And based on your rolls, this is going to determine what you're able to gather from your different areas.
Okay, now everybody's rolling for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got
Hold it.
11. Yikes.
Hold the roll.
Just hold up. Hold your roll. Okay. It looks like Cat is the highest. So, we're going to be moving first to Melody and Cat, who has just been dropped off at the Cathedral of St. Mary's. Now, St. Mary's, as you can probably guess by the name, is a very large Catholic cathedral. One of those old types where the entire building is made of stone. There's gigantic towers and portcullis. There's the door is 5 times bigger than it really needs to be. There's a bell tower, the works. And as you're driving up, that bell does ring out 6 times. Dong, dong, so on and so forth, letting you know that it is exactly 6 o'clock. You look up at the building, and it's kind of old. Like, the stone is definitely weathered. You can see the rain spots from broken gutters and things like that. As you're looking closer at it, you can tell that the roof is missing some shingles and things like that. And there's more than one window that has been broken in and has been boarded up with plywood and as a result. So it's looking a little bit run down, but the door is open and you can hear a little bit of faint music coming from the inside. What would you like to do?
What
Head
kind
inside?
of music? Like church music?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
Maybe there's a choir practicing.
Why is she so bad?
Do I give a perception check as well?
Yeah, if you want to, go for it.
11.
You're expecting it to be like choir singing or something like that, but you're listening closely and it almost sounds like rock music.
Melody says, sweet.
Not what I expected here.
One of those churches.
Well, you all start making your way to the front, going up several large stairs in the process. But as you get to the door, that music is coming in clear. It sounds like Thunderstruck by AC/DC. And like, what? That's definitely seems out of place. But as you step through the door and kind of let your eyes adjust, you see a very large cathedral. Pews lining both sides with a central aisle going down, a big dark beige carpet running down the center between the two aisles of pews. At the very back, you can see a big old altar with some candles on it, and behind that, a gigantic organ taking up the back of the stage that is there. In the middle of it, you can see an old man wearing all black with a white collar around his neck, who seems to be kind of jamming out a little bit to the music as he sweeps the floor between the pews. He's just kind of sitting there, his back's to you all. He's kind of, rocking out as he's sweeping and not really paying a whole lot of attention. But it seems like it's just a guy cleaning.
So he's here alone?
Yeah, he's the only one in the room right now.
Where's the music
At least
coming
you can
from?
see. From a radio that's sitting on one of the pews. What do you do?
I think I'll just go stand, walk so I'm kind of in front of him so he can see me, and just stand there and wait till he stops dancing or whatever he's doing.
Yeah, he's just sweeping the floors. He notices you as you approach, and he kind of has this big smile. He's a tall man, very, very pale in his skin, bright blue eyes, and slicked back salt and pepper hair that's coming away from a very sharp widow's peak. He smiles at you as you approach, and he says, good afternoon. Welcome to St. Mary's Cathedral. I don't think I've seen you around here before.
No, you wouldn't. I'm somewhat new here.
New to the area. Very nice, very nice. Well, I'm Father O'Malley. What can I do for you? Are you here for confession?
No. We are actually here to ask about... Wait, I have a question out of character really quick. Who had the chip? Who kept it?
I do.
Okay.
I have it.
Okay.
Would you have remembered to ask that? Because you were together on the drive up.
Yeah, I think we would have asked if we could borrow it to show
That
it
makes
to him.
sense to me.
Wait. What do you mean we were together on the drive up?
I drove.
Yeah.
No, I took
Go ahead.
I took the bus to the arcade.
No, to the shooting range.
Because we're going to
Oh.
the gun club.
Yeah.
So I said I would drive.
Yeah.
Melody and Kat to the.
Oh,
church on our way
okay.
to the gun
Gotcha.
club.
Gotcha.
Which also explains why I blew you off, because I got there before you.
But anyway, yeah, so you rode with Damian and the ladies to St. Mary's. They were dropped off, and the two of you continued on to the gun club. But during that time, we're retroactively saying that Melody would have been able to ask you to borrow that since she's going to the...
Sure,
To
as
the,
if you say they remembered, then yeah.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
don't see why not.
Okay, so I'll take out the little coin thing and I'll say, we found this and we were wondering if you could tell us about your program you have here.
He takes the chip and kind of looks at it and says, "Oh yes, this is from one of our AA meetings. We have those 2 times a week here at St. Mary's, or at least we used to. That program is no longer here, unfortunately.
What happened to it?
Oh well, you see." Ever since that other church opened up, Sacred Hearts, attendance here at the cathedral has gone down a little bit, and I am sad to say that they've also taken over our AA meetings. The organization typically goes to whatever church has the largest community, and well, there's not a whole lot of people are coming to St. Mary's these days.
Hmm. That's sad.
If I may ask, where did you find this?
We found it. What's the name of that park again?
In a park.
Loropa Park?
Yes, we found it at
the Loropa Park.
Oh,
I believe there was beer bottles around and stuff. That's not a good sign.
yeah. You see the priest's face kind of go down a little bit at that mention. He says, "Oh, that makes me sad to hear. There are a lot of people out there that use alcohol as a way to escape, I'm afraid, and AA does tend to help, but it only helps if the person's willing to do the work.
Hmm.
Holding on to these coins, it's just a reminder of what you've achieved being sober, and it helps those who struggle with that sort of thing to have a tangible thing to remind themselves."
Hmm.
Can you spell his name for me again really quick so I can write it down?
O'Malley, O-M-A-L-L-Y.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, E-Y, sorry. O-M-A-L-M-A-L-L-E-Y.
Thank you. Okay.
What was the... Sorry, I missed it. What was the place that he said the AA meetings took over at? Was it a go ahead.
Sacred Hearts Church is where he said they've taken over.
Which apparently isn't too far from the park.
Do you know if they got new chips for their program, the Sacred Hearts Church?
I would imagine they do. He shows you the coin and flips it around, and it says St. Mary's on it. It says anyone who would have gotten the chip from there would have the Sacred Hearts logo on it instead.
Would they have
These aren't. What's that?
Would they have updated their coins? Like if they had one from here, would they have exchanged it or something?
These are very, very easy to make. Chances are they would have gotten theirs the moment the organization gave them the okay to host them there.
When was the last meeting that you had here?
He kind of stops and thinks about it for a little bit. Oh, as close as I could say, probably about 3 weeks ago. It's just a recent transition.
Okay.
Or not hyphen. I said hyphen, didn't I? Apostrophe. Oh,
I
apostrophe.
knew what you meant. It's okay.
Yeah, he's Irish.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, but I figure you just said it wrong.
Yeah, no, not hyphen, apostrophe. Sorry.
Hmm.
Were there, or out of curiosity, were there any people in the program that seemed kind of sketchy?
He kind of gives you a look at that question, and
They're all alcoholics. Of course they're sketchy.
that was kind of like the vibe he gave you in that look. But the answer he gives you is, unfortunately, those types of meetings are strictly confidential. No one gives more than their first name. Records aren't really kept because, as I said, confidentiality. But were there sketchy people? I mean, it's an AA meeting. No one's coming to those meetings if their life is going well.
I take that's a yes.
So there's more than one.
I just want to ask about the milk curtain kid. I don't remember his name. Jeremy something.
Oh, the milk carton kid, Jeremy.
Probably written somewhere. Just
Jeremy
wondering if
Tanner.
Jeremy Tanner.
wondering if he was Jeremy Tanner was a churchgoer.
Are you specifically asking the priest?
Yeah, I'll ask him if he knows the kid. If he knows a kid named Jeremy Tanner.
This is going to be a roll on his part to see whether or not he can actually remember and knows anybody named Jeremy.
I think he's a 16-year-old kid.
Oh, a D20. Interesting.
I thought it was, for a second, I thought it was a D100 with a 14.
Yeah, no, it was a D20 because he's actually trying to remember something. It's not a "Hey, I remember you" moment. This is he sits there and thinks to himself, Hana. You know, I remember hearing something about a kid named Hana going missing sometime during the summer, but I can't say that he was a member of this congregation.
Okay.
But then again, like I said, attendance has been down for quite a while now.
A lot of people went to the other church.
And he says, now don't get me wrong. As long as they're going somewhere, that's all that really matters. You know, what's important is the faith, not what branch you're going to. But still, it would make my life a bit easier if more people were coming to St. Mary's here.
Do you know what the reason is why so many people are choosing that church over yours?
He kind of shrugs a little bit and says, "Well, it's new. Hasn't been around that long. So people tend to like new things." That's my assumption anyway. You know, St. Mary's has been around for a good 100 years or so. There's been times that we've had low attendance, times we've had high attendance. Anytime some new thing comes along, people always go and check it out. But eventually they remember their roots and they come back. And I'm sure this is just going to be more of the same.
This definitely has lovely architecture.
Oh, thank you very much. Why don't you let me tell you a little bit about this 100-year young church? And he begins talking way too much about the history of the cathedral. But fortunately, the rest of us don't have to hear all that as the scene turns, and we are going to be going to, let's see, who is the next highest? Wow. Looks like
Some great rolls.
Levi's 11. Yeah, Levi's 11 is the next highest one. So, Levi and Damian, the two of you arrive at, well, what's essentially little more than a cinder block concrete building, very nondescript. On the far side of the upper Loropa. It's a building with a single sign on it, very nondescript, like I said, that literally just says Loropa Gun Club. But Levi, you've been going here for quite a while now.
Yep.
And to you, it's more like home. You go through the door, and the front lobby of this place is a gun lover's paradise. Every single wall has guns on it, all arrayed in very, very uniform and exact positioning. There's an area for handguns. There's an area for rifles. There's an area for shotguns. There's an area for your more extreme assault rifle varieties. You can rent any gun on that wall and try it out in the range itself. It costs just a small fee plus the bullets. Levi, you have a membership here, so you actually get a discount on renting the guns.
Nice.
Ammo can be expensive, but it's the 90s, so it's not as expensive as it is these days. Like, I can pay up to $100 for a case of bullets right now, depending on the caliber. So, be glad it's still the 90s.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm absolutely going to be, not necessarily marveling too heavily at what we see around here, but definitely, I always like to just look at the assortment. But I'm gonna look at Damian and go, so, which would you like to try? On me.
Damian is very visibly flustered and nervous. It's a very white town and a very white part of probably one of the most concentrated conservative hangouts.
Levi will
white.
look over at James Rothstein, who owns the place, and go, "Hey, Monsieur Rothstein, I brought you some fresh blood. He is going to have his first time."
Ah, Levi, so nice to see you. Look at your friend, new blood. Well, come over, boys, come check this out. We have a wide assortment of things to try. He kind of looks you up and down, and says, for your first time, I would recommend, something more of the handgun variety, but you look like you're a strong one. Maybe something with a little bit of a kick.
Sure, I'll take your recommendation.
He goes and turns around and looks among the handguns and selects, we're gonna say, a Desert Eagle 9mm. That's a nice one.
That's huge. Do you have anything smaller? And I'm gonna point to I don't know what it is, but a Beretta. I'm just gonna point to Beretta 9mm. Just like a simple.
Oh, so you are afraid that you cannot handle the power? My mistake. Forgive me.
I've never held a gun, and this is all very new, and it's it's honestly kind of scary. So I don't want to try something that I'm not ready for.
So yeah, I'll pay whatever the fee is to let him try it.
Okay, cool.
This is giving me a little bit of the vibes of when I took my kids to the range for the very first time, when they were young teenagers. It's always fun.
I've actually never been, so this is all
No.
So I'm playing brand new because this is brand new.
I live in the Midwest, where if you don't know how to shoot a gun, you just are wrong.
Right.
So yeah,
I've been shooting. I've just never been to a range. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's pretty much exactly what you would expect. Levi pays for your use, and you're given clamshell earplugs, safety glasses, and a 9mm and a box of bullets.
Cool.
As he's paying it, you can't help but notice it is a little expensive. Like Levi's chances are he's dropping all of the money he has for the week on this one.
Are you sure? This is a lot.
For a friend, it is how you say zero.
Okay. Okay, cool.
You know,
All right.
he's saying,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you're a
right,
friend,
fine.
so it's nothing to me.
All right, legit. Yeah, let's go for it. So show me.
Uh,
Do you want to take the first? I guess we're gonna go shooting
We
during our investigation phase.
Yeah. And we're actually getting ready to get back to that. So, Levi does show you a little bit about how the gun works, how to load it, how to load the clip, how to aim, and that sort of thing. He walks you through some gun safety, and at the same time that he's doing that, there's a few of those old timers who are in the range as well, just practicing. Which a range, if you've never been to one before, it's just a big wide room with basically a bar that's been put into like basically a 4-foot box. So everyone walks up to it. There's a little line going down to the far end that you can place a target on, and then you turn it on, and it just slides down to the far end. And at the very back, it's just a big wide area of concrete that the bullets just basically hit, but it's far enough down there that there's no real damage to be done to anyone but, the wall that they regularly redo and put new cinder blocks into.
And aside from the fact that I'm trying to, show him that he's a friend or whatever, I'm also just having him shoot so that way the older guys here will know he's legit, so to speak. Like, they wouldn't really care if it's your first time, but if you show up to a gun range and you don't shoot anything, and you don't have, like, a real good reason, why if somebody offers, makes you look a little sussy.
Sure.
Now, while that's going on, you also have time to kind of chat with the locals in the gun range and kind of try to get a little gossip going on. Let's see. Levi, you rolled an 11, and Damian, you rolled a nat 1 for a 4.
He's too busy trying to not, get launched back from the force of the gun.
Quick point. It looks like the recording ended in Discord. I don't know if we need to restart that.
The bot's down for maintenance, is what it says.
Oh, god damn it. Really?
I'm not sure when it ended either.
At least you should have the VOD on YouTube, not on YouTube.
I do, yeah. And
I heard like someone logging out of the chat, so I looked.
Now recording.
Okay, cool.
There we go.
So is four is my investigation? Is that? I mean, I rolled a critical one on investigating, so I imagine I don't get too much. But
yeah, you're not getting much. Like, unfortunately, the entire time people are explaining to you what to do, how to hold the thing, how to keep your legs spread, when to breathe, when not to breathe. And so for this entire time, yeah, unfortunately, you're not able to get anything beyond how a gun works.
Can I take a roll to see how well I shoot?
Absolutely. Go ahead, and you're going to be rolling a coordination check, but since this is your very first time doing it, you're rolling at disadvantage.
Would me and the other people being there to assist him cancel it out?
No,
okay.
No,
because you're supposed to be investigating this.
That's fair.
During this time, so while he's doing that, you're actually talking to people.
Oh no, I can't help keep from you making a fool of yourself.
Totally.
Oh
fine.
well.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. That's gonna be a 13 on coordination.
13 still isn't bad. Like you definitely, you're hitting the target. You're actually in the target area itself. You're nowhere near the center, and your shots are definitely wild and sporadic. But at least you're you're aiming down the right way and you're hitting the target instead of just hitting the wall or the floor, which absolutely does happen to newbies their first time.
Noted.
So overall, you didn't do terribly.
Great. I'll take that for my first time.
Yeah. Now, Levi,
Mhm.
with your 11, as Damian is showing what he can do, you have a little bit of time to talk to some of the old folks there. Are you asking about anything in specific, or just as they noticed weird stuff? Or
Just
whatever?
getting them to, tell me stories about what's going on with them lately. Usually, if something weird's going on, they'll be pretty forthcoming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Normally they would be. You do get a couple interesting pieces of information. One of the old guys, a man that we're going to call Joseph Banks, he is in there complaining to another guy as the both of you leave the range itself and go to turn in Damian's gun at the end. And they're saying, "Oh man, did you hear about that power outage last night?" The second guy's like, "Yeah, I did. The entire area of the Lower East Side of the city went lights out for like an hour and a half. Oh my God, it started around 10 o'clock. It's been crazy. And the lights didn't get back on. The power company, they took way too long getting that put back together. It was probably around 2, 3 in the morning before power was back on. Yeah, good thing is none of us are actually working anymore. We're retired, so we can sleep in. But my brother-in-law, oh man, he's still working, and he ended up sleeping in and got yelled at for it. Oh my gosh."
At least you probably got a chance to make sure that your generators are in working order, no?
One of them kind of chuckles at that, and he says, "Well, yeah, I probably would have if I actually was awake at the time. I didn't hear about it until the next day, but
Such is life.
absolutely."
Yeah, I figured, since a lot of them are anti-government types, they're definitely going to be the, self-sufficient.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
These are the types that when the zombie apocalypse happened, they're fine.
Yeah.
One of them does mention, man, one thing that was really weird is they were talking about that on the news this morning, and experts are saying that they think an unusual migration of fish upriver was the cause, that they got caught in the generators or something like that along the river, and that's what caused the power outage. And the other's like, "Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. You know the news, they never report on what's actually going on. It's all one big government conspiracy to keep the regular people ignorant." And they all start talking about that stuff.
Yep, I'll just say something about probably a fabrication to cover for some big company doing something illegal.
Probably. And they just kind of chuckle at that. But yeah.
Ooh. But yeah,
There you go.
I'll definitely be looking at Damian afterwards and go, well, what did you think?
I mean, that was scary, but kind of exhilarating, kind of fun. I enjoyed it.
Like grabbing a bull by the what do you say?
The horns?
Yes.
Yeah, you could say that for sure. So what'd you hear? I didn't quite, wasn't catching up with everything.
Apparently the Lower East Side was dark for a long time last night.
The Lower East Side. I wonder what's over there.
Not sure. Is there a check we can make, Matt?
I mean, I know Loropa High, just according to the map, is kind of in that Lower East Side. I'm.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What kind of check?
I was
You
gonna
said you
ask
asked about it.
if we needed to make some kind of check to be able to know what is in the Lower East Side, besides just housing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, looking on the map itself, you can see that most of the Lower East Side is residential areas, residential communities. Loropa High is technically on up in the Lower East Side as well, as is Rowena Oasis Lounge. Apart from that, there's there's buildings, there's a lot of different things. So.
Right.
Perhaps someone in the school was making lies to the dead.
I mean,
As a science project or something.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind kind of scoping out Loropa High briefly. I mean, it's in the Lower East Side, and based on the stuff that happened with the soccer team, I would say that's definitely out of the ordinary.
I can
So-
travel with you because there is throng in too many people.
Yeah, and I can, I'll drop you off at home afterward. Should we go pick up the girls at the church? I guess I'll check in with them on our communicators. At this point, I imagine we've exited. We've gone back to the car.
Yeah.
Talking about what to do next. So I'll check in with Melody and Kat, and say, hey, we heard something happened in the Lower East Side, and we're talking about going to check out Loropa High. Do y'all want to meet there? I could come pick you up from the church, and we could drive over.
I'm a bit interested in checking out Sacred Hearts Church.
Yeah. Curious to check out. Yeah, I'm curious about Sacred Hearts Church as well. What time is it by this point?
Well, it's from your perspective, it's getting kind of late. We're getting near the end of your investigation phase. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and turn our attention to Aisha, who decided to catch a bus and head to the Loropa Library to see if she can do some more to gather some more information on the missing kid.
I don't think I was able to with that 5.
Yeah, unfortunately, what you rolled was a 5. You arrive at the library and head over to the newspapers and begin looking for it. And I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit quickly because you did roll a 5, so that is a failure, unfortunately. You spend the next 3 hours combing newspapers, looking for any mention of the name. I'm blanking real quick. Jeremy Tanner?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy Tanner. Looking for any mention of Jeremy. You go back basically to early June, scanning through all of the newspapers. And they do have a collection of them. Basically, the Loropa Library takes all of their newspapers once they've been sitting out for a couple days. They cut the pages of articles and laminate them into these big books, and they're basically like huge. And
I was expecting microfilm.
They do have microfilm as well for older ones, like the ones that are like years and years ago. But for a few months, they have them in actually whole form.
Cool.
It's basically a transfer process that they do. So you go through several months of all through the summer looking for the name, but you don't find any mention whatsoever of a kid that has gone missing. And it's honestly kind of frustrating. You leave the library, you actually stay there until closing time. And you're like the last person in there, still going through newspaper after newspaper after newspaper. But by the time the librarian's like, "Hey, come on, it's closing time. We need to get going," you're just really, really frustrated that you weren't able to find out any real information in the newspapers about it.
For the fans at home, Alexa, play Closing Time by Semisonic.
Alexa, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you're leaving the library, and the librarian is locking up. Damian and Levi, you are leaving the gun club and messaging the ladies over at the church about that. And everyone can hear, unless you're specifically only targeting somebody. So I would assume that Aisha, you would hear this as well.
Yeah.
And so by this time, it is 9 o'clock. It's dark out. The sun has fully set. The buses are in the process of finishing up for the night and making their way back to their lots. The city is becoming quiet. And we move into our patrol phase,
Which will probably happen next time.
Yep, well, it's 8:50 right now, so we are going to finish things up at this point. But before that, you can have a little bit of time to role play if you want to discuss where you're wanting to patrol for the night. You've discussed the church. You've discussed a few things. So, what are you wanting to do for your patrol phase itself? This is the time where you, as Magi-Knights, would go around the city looking for signs of the outsiders, because they typically tend to come out at night to do their nefarious deeds. So if you have some place in particular you're wanting to patrol around, you can do that. If you don't and you just want to patrol the city itself, we're gonna roll to see what you find throughout the day. Or the evening. That's kind of how this works. But you were discussing a few things. So everybody hears Damian's voice come through over the communicators.
Hey everyone.
Go ahead.
So here's what Levi and I just learned at the gun club. Apparently there was a power outage in the Lower East Side yesterday. And for people wondering, it doesn't coincide with our battle, because our battle was, I think, Saturday night, and then we skipped a day in roleplay, and then it was Monday. So if it happened last night, it happened on the night that we skipped.
Correct.
And the stuff that's in the Lower East Side, I mean, there's, basically I'm curious about patrolling the Lower East Side and seeing if there's anything we can find out there because of the power outage, or that might be related to that. They gave us a pretty ridiculous reason for why that happened, saying that like fish clogged the dam or something. There was an unusually high migration, so maybe something happened either at the power station that caused an issue, or just that they caused a blackout for nefarious purposes or what have you in the Lower East Side. The other thing I was thinking is the La Ropa coach, didn't seem to care about his entire team cutting class in school and coming over to our school to like start some shit. So part of me, considering the Ropa's highs in the Lower East Side, I just like to do a quick drive-by, see if we see any lights on or anything. But that's just me. What'd y'all find out?
So we found out that the AA program at St. Mary's Church has all transferred to the Sacred Hearts Church, and also a lot of their congregation.
Everyone's leaving to go to the new church.
Yes.
Far out.
So I would like to investigate that, but that's probably something better to do during the day. So I think going to the high school tonight is probably a good idea, especially because whatever happened with the power happened at night, and that seems more like outsider activity.
This might be reaching. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
It also took them a very long time to respond to said dying of the power.
Well,
Power was out for an hour and a half.
Where is the power station?
That's a
Is
good
there a power
question.
station?
Okay, it's actually I did not put one on the map, but I will real quick. I'll show you exactly where the power station is.
I never want to see a newspaper again.
No luck.
Nothing.
I
rough.
I did ask the priest if Jeremy had been a person at the church, and I was wondering if maybe he went to this new church, but he didn't really know. He just heard he was missing. I was hoping to find Mo. He was one of the people that moved to the new church.
You would think that like the outsiders wouldn't use a populated space to like do their stuff. Like if they're going to do something, they're going to do it at the abandoned church or the church, that doesn't have a high population. Maybe.
Yeah, but if it's a priest or something, and he's an outsider, like this is a new religion, a new.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Guzzling people to be his sheep.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're still new faces on the scene, so we might not be influencing their decisions. And David won, but at great losses, so maybe the outsiders are feeling overly confident right now.
I almost want to go by. If we're driving there, I'd almost want to go by the park and just take a look as we drive by. Make sure that park is okay where we were.
Sure, we can take that route.
Because that is a big empty space where they could go.
I might be able to make it to the park on my own, but
I mean, I'm sure we could come by. I could drive by and pick you up. Sacred Hearts is not in the Lower East Side, so if that's what's driving our patrol, then we could probably do Sacred Hearts during the daytime another day.
Yeah,
Like
we
on a
can
Sunday
do that
or
another
something.
time.
Just so you know now, here's Laropa Power Station right there. It's near the river.
Ooh.
Cool.
Thank you.
all right.
Then
Thank-
to the power station.
If we want to do a drive-by of Laropa High first, I can meet you all there. You can pick me up in the car, and then we can go to Laropa Power Station.
So the library is
Okay.
not too far from the high school.
Yeah, that makes sense. We'll drive over to the high school, pick up Aisha, and then work our way back, driving by Laropa Park and
Power station.
and then go to the power station and check out, see what we can find.
Yeah, Laropa High isn't too terribly far from the library, and you driving would be a lot faster than Aisha walking, because like I did say, public transit shuts down at 9 o'clock. So from this point on, you'll be hoofing it if you don't have a vehicle of your own. But you could certainly do that, and by the time you make it over there, they could have be heading in that direction as well after picking up Kat and Melody. So sounds like you all have a plan, and that's what we're going to be picking up with next time when we play Magi-Knights again. So, well done, everybody.
Sweet.
Now, as always, we end this off with everybody going around the table to tell us who they are and where we can find you on the internet. I legitimately don't remember who I went with the last time. So since you're the one who did the recap, Los, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Los. You can find me on social media, PDX Homebrew. This is the only real live thing I've got going on. So, I'll see you on Twitter or something. Or Threads now, I guess. Cheers.
Absolutely. Okay. Kira, go for next.
I'm Kira, and this is the only streaming I'm really doing too, but I'm the assistant creator of Magi-Knights, and you can find me at Magi_Knights on all the social media, and As I mentioned last time, I also wrote the book, the children's book, My Dad the Game Master.
Very cool. You can find that on Amazon.
Yes.
Steven, you're next.
I'm Togepico on the internet. You can generally find me here on the Magi-Knights game, but also on Mondays for the Debauchery Circus. And you can definitely be interested in keeping your eyes peeled because that campaign is going to end before too long, and I'll be here on Mondays for our first foray into Pathfinder 2nd edition.
Yep, that's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to start playing Pathfinder.
I am excited.
Okay, Ash, you're next.
Oh, Ash.
Ashley.
I'm Ashleyien. I don't have any other games going. You can find me here. I don't have anything else really. So
We need to find you something to plug.
I have
That's
other
okay.
games. They're just offline.
You get into some
That's
Lost
fair.
Caravan games.
Yeah,
I haven't.
yeah, you're occasionally on Lost Caravan.
I-
Are you doing anything for August?
I have a lot of personal things going on right now, so I haven't joined any other games. It'd be too
Fair
much.
enough. Fair enough. Okay, Hannah, close us out.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I don't have anything going on besides this for July, so you can catch me here in 2 weeks. But in August, I will be on Lost Caravan with Cthulhu Week and the second episode on Singularity roleplay of Fragments of Tomorrow's Apocalypse, a city of Pain Town, City of Mist, Actual Play, which you can come here on YouTube on Singularity's YouTube channel in the next little bit to watch episode 1 to get caught up for that. I'll get more into dates though next week because I don't have my calendar.
Fair enough. Okay, well, I'm Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the network. You can find me here every Monday and Wednesday where I'm running games. And apart from this, you can also find me over on the Transverses, All on the Table TTRPG content, where we play Pathfinder and D&D and a bunch of other stuff. Next month, you can also find me over on Lost Caravan as well, where I'll be playing in Call of Cthulhu Week as well. I can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But other than that, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for watching. And on behalf of the cast and crew here at Random Rhapsody, I just want to say thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, may your dreams be infinite. Good night.